Yeah, okay, mate. Let's take a look here. Rose, CTA, and Mover. Seems like they pump and then completely retrace. Yeah, that's fairly normal a lot of the times in this chop until it finds its feet. Let's just delete some of that off there. First thing I see when I look at Rose here, this technically is bullish the way this white 100 is coming under, but a lot of times you can actually form a really big, drawn out, lengthy consolidation pattern on a weekly chart here. Okay, so that's the first thing I'm going to say with Rose, that it's possible that this is doing something like this, you know, before getting a big move. I just want to take you back here to ADA as an example, right? This got a big move up, but it you know, even from the top here, that's July, right through to here, which is the end of the year. That's a 6-month consolidation, right in here, above this white 100. Now, it was all technically bullish, but you don't want to be trading futures, and you need to have patience on it, and you need to be willing to kind of buy dips. This was a beautiful flat pattern down here as well. So what I'm saying here, I'm not saying that it's going to last 6 months, but you know, anything is possible in this scenario. It's nice to see Uni, Comp, and a couple of others pumping. They're large caps, so maybe some money is flowing into large caps. I know they are one at a time mostly. People are going to blame the news, but it's really not. It's the pattern, it's the structure. Uni was technically bullish. I mean, I've been calling that bullish for a while. So if we look a bit deeper into this, the 6 month is still red here on Rose. That is why it is choppy. That is why it is in a consolidation pattern after a move up. The 3 month here is also red, right? So as long as this is red, this is going to remain choppy. It only alleviates that chop when this flips green. Then it can move to the upside, right? So either it chops about, or it needs a new candle, right? Or I shouldn't say that actually, because this could flip up and flip green. But as long as it's red, the price action is going to be extremely choppy, and you're probably going to be bouncing and giving back gains, and bouncing and giving back gains, and bouncing and giving back gains. The only time when that's not going to happen, most likely, is when this flips green. Is that going to flip green this quarter, or does it need a new quarter? That's tough to say, right? I had preferred the overall market that these don't flip green, because it would have given us tremendous opportunity, because if you understand the patterns and the structure, and don't get me wrong, there still will be many that hold out like this, but a few have been flipping green and pumping. But this consolidation is better if everything stays the way it is until a new quarter, and then it is easier to trade a new quarter. You can make a lot of money doing it, because you can lower your risk on your entries, number one. No, like here, it's tricky to know if this is going to flip, if this is going to flip green. Here's another one, the 9-week candle, and there's a new 9-week candle in 9 days time. This also needs a new 9-week candle. So on a new 9-week candle, I would be watching this to see if this next 9-week candle can start to flip green and run. That's the way I would be focusing on it. There is a new 2-week candle in 2 days, right? So there is a bearish 2-week stop hunt here, right? So that's another reason. Let me just delete some of this stuff. That is, this bearish 2-week stop hunt here is another reason why this is giving back all its gains. It just can't find traction yet. So you need to be careful that this could cause more downside in the near term. But then I would be looking at the new 9-week candle to see if this can start to run. If it fails to run, well, it probably needs a new quarter. And many coins will be like that. Okay, so CTSI, honestly, this looks better, right? I like the fact that it had a test pump here, and I like the fact it's pushed up. Now, the tricky part about this is this going to run here right now? Sometimes it does, and sometimes it rejects to come through. Let me draw that again. Sometimes it rejects and forms a U-shaped pattern before running. Okay, that's two. Sometimes it just continues to be very strong, or sometimes it creates this base because of the resistance point here, and I should move this resistance back. Look at this. This is huge, 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 huge resistance. Okay, so it's important. If this breaks this resistance, it will run hard and fast. So you need to be wary I need to be careful that this could fake out and come back down, maybe get this, build that U-shaped pattern before running, because the resistance of the neckline is a huge resistance point on a chart, right? This tried to break back above and failed. Okay, so then failed. Well, we didn't fail there yet, actually. If you're holding spot, I like this if it's held on spot, and if it does pull back a bit, I wouldn't be too concerned, because a pullback is likely a buying opportunity to go higher. The structure of this chart is pretty good. The tricky part about these is it needs patience. They need patience. Now look at this 9-week candle. This is a bullish 9-week candle coming off a bullish base, and it does imply that a new 9-week candle should go higher at some point, but there might be dips back down into the body. If there's dips back down into the body, they are likely buying opportunities to then go higher. So personally, I wouldn't fear the dips. I would embrace them. Even I don't know, add to your position if you're in a position to do that. If you know, I don't mean go all in or anything, but I'm just saying that the dips to me look like buying opportunities for this to then later go higher. It's totally up to you if you add your position or not, or we can look at it later to make sure nothing's changed, and if we can find a safe buy point, you know, then we'll assess it in the moment to see if it's for buying or adding or whatever. Okay, so mover. The base on mover was fantastic. You know, a lot of people get scared of these bases, but you know, if you had bought here and it wasn't a great buy, and you added here and it wasn't great, and then you added lower, you know, you're eventually going to have a semi-decent buy point of about here, which is close to the lows of this big green candle, and then you get the pump. I'm not saying it would have played out that perfectly. It's not easy. It's definitely not easy accumulating these. You know, it's stressful. You always worry that it might get another flush, and next thing you'll be down 90% on your money or something. In the altcoins, you just never know. But when you understand the basis that they can provide this huge opportunity, they can be very powerful. And that's what we tried to explain going through this bear market. So it's nice to see these break out. I'm not on mover, actually. What I will say is, when you, I think we've talked about mover before, when you get such a huge move up, this consolidation candle is very, very normal, right? So people wanted to continue, but the fact of the matter is that extra consolidation here, because the move is so big, is extremely normal. So it requires patience. If I go to a daily chart, we'll just try and quickly assess it. Yeah, look at this. I'm nearly sure we did talk about this before, and I think I did mention, you know, somewhere down here on the first low, or you know, the pattern here itself is very flat. I don't like to see flat patterns. See this flat, 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 flat. Yes, there's a couple of wicks, but the whole pattern and structure is flat. It kind of gives me the impression that it kind of maybe wants to do this, you know, before moving back. When I look at the 3 months chart, you know, it doesn't look like there's anything wrong with this. It just looks like it's consolidating. There is a chance that this does not move this quarter, but if I flip back to the 9-week candle, it is very similar, and I probably would just focus on the 9-week to see if this can actually run higher. You know, it's very possible the new 9-week runs and maybe even tests up here. Let me just look at this on the 3-day just to see what that is. It's not ready to do it yet. It's still in this drift mode. It's stuck in the drift mode because this move is so big. There's important points on the chart. Look at this volume. I want to go to a daily. I just want to make sure. Yeah, look at this largest volume right here. So there's your support. That's your volume support right at the bottom of that candle. It does make it awkward actually, because there is a huge volume support here as well, which is the whole way down here. I mean, I don't know if it's going to do that, but if this actually failed and came down, this is an amazing buy point, right? So I'm just pointing that out, that if we actually fall to here, that's probably a fantastic buy point. Now, I don't think it's going to fall down that low. Just saying, if we had a COVID crash or something extreme, that would be a huge level. For now, this needs a new 9-week candle. I don't like the flat base. It looks to me like it needs a bit lower prices to stop hunt this flat base. There's too much liquidity all through here, because people have been buying and buying and buying and buying and buying and buying. They're likely going to get stop hunted. And from memory, you may have bought. Maybe not. Maybe my memory is not correct. I do think longer term, I think it's okay to, if you had a buy, well, I don't like buying right here on the neckline because I feel it needs to flush. But if it does flush, I do like it for a buy, and if it did flush a bit more, I do like it for a buy as well. And eventually, this should continue on its merry way higher. This either needs a new 9-week candle or a new 3-month candle.